So, over the past few weeks, I have noticed some frustration regarding none other than Big Bear AI stock. Now, speaking on Big Bear AI, specifically what investors are disappointed in is regarding overall the stock price itself, the price action. They don't like seeing what it is we have seen as of late. And others are also frustrated because they expected faster momentum with the stock due to all the hype surrounding Big Bear AI. And while I completely understand the frustrations among investors and I do sympathize with them, I personally think that it's very important to separate what's going on right now in the now with the short term price action from the long term investment thesis. And personally, and again, not financial advice, this is my personal opinion. I still believe that Big Bear AI has an interesting long term story that's building up. And that does not mean that the stock won't remain volatile, doesn't mean that it will be less risky or it won't experience any more pullbacks in the upcoming days and weeks. Small cap AI companies almost always come with risk and high volatility. But when I do look at what the company is, where the company is headed, and not just where the share price is right now, I can still see a business that's transitioning, expanding, and working towards becoming a stronger AI software company over time. And today, I want to discuss three of the biggest developments that investors appear to be watching and explain why each one could matter going forward. Again, my name's David here at InvestQ. If you feel like I've added any value to your investing journey thus far, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button and comment below what it is you think about Big Bear AI. Now, I was just curious, just wanted to cover a little bit about do a little more research on Big Bear AI due to the fact that it is a stock that you guys love to tune in for. And I was recently searching some developments that the investors, not me specifically, but other investors have been watching. And some of the things that were highlighted were regarding the government contracts. And as you know, they have the record backlog. Let me get that number right there. Sorry, my dog is in the way. And again, her name is Joy. So say hi, Joy. But the first one was regarding the government contracts and their record backlog, which currently stands at $281.9 million. And they're also expanding commercially and internationally. And and people are also interested to see a path towards profitability for Big Bear AI. And when you just do a quick Google search, you'll see Google AI. It'll summarize. The summaries won't be perfect necessarily when you do the research, and it should not replace your own research. No AI should. It should just be used as a tool to enhance your investing and trading journey. But with the topics that it came up with on Google, I do think that these are reasonable topics to discuss regarding Big Bear AI. And they're also the same areas that management have been emphasizing as well, which I found interesting. So first off, the thing that people are continuing to look for is towards their record backlog. And again, they're keeping an eye out for any more developments regarding future contracts. Because to be honest, this really shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that pays attention to the stock, because that's the main topic of discussion besides dilution. I would say those two are the main topics of concern regarding Big Bear AI. And what I found is that what was specifically mentioned is that the Google AI, it just specifically mentions classified awards. It also mentioned backlog execution and future federal spending opportunities. Now, personally, this is one of the biggest reasons that I continue following the company because, again, with other stocks that we have covered, like Castellum CTM, SealsQ, you know that me as an investor and a content creator, as an investor, I like to look into the underlying business of a company. I like to remove myself from the headlines and also see if this is a business that's actually growing, regardless of the hype, volatility, or where the share price is currently at. And that's what I try to present to you guys as a content creator on my channel of InvestQ. And quick reminder before we continue, if you're enjoying the content and want to connect with the community, check out the first link below for the free InvestQ community. And if you want access to advanced stock research and tools, the second link is a Prophecy 7-day trial for just $7. And last, if you want daily market updates and behind the scenes content, follow me on Instagram using the third link in the description. Now, let's get back to the video. Keep in mind, we've already seen BigBear.AI get awarded contract. It wouldn't be the first one, and we have seen them in the past. The contracts that they have been awarded is involving defense, homeland security, border security, logistics, airports, and intelligence. And if they continue converting opportunities into revenue while growing their backlog, which they have been recently, what that can do is it will strengthen the long-term investment thesis for the stock. Now, investors shouldn't simply choose, or not choose, but chase every press release that comes out for any stock that they're bullish on. But the key question that they need to be asking is whether those contracts translate into actual revenue growth and improving financial performance over time. Second key that I want to go over is none other regarding commercial and international expansion, because I've been talking for a while about BigBear.AI, and specifically what I'm saying about BBAI is that it wants to remain viewed as how they're trying not to be only viewed as a government contractor. And what I'm trying to reference to is none other than the Panama Canal supply chain development. If you just do a quick look. In fact, honestly, I can just go to investor relations right here and it'll pull it up. Let me see. Press releases. You just go over here onto the website, it'll show you. Yep, there we go. So yeah, mainly regarding this PR that came out right here, regarding the which came out on May 20th, regarding the Panama Canal, the Panama's Dry Canal Powered Supply Chain Security Platform. And what I feel about this, and what I think when this press release did come out, is that it was important because it's showing one word specifically. And that word is none other than diversification. And that is one of the things that can help make the business grow stronger and expand. And government contract can sometimes be uneven and not inconsistent or uncertain from a quarter-to-quarter basis. So if BigBear.AI can successfully grow its commercial software, their commercial software business, alongside the government work that they do, revenue could become more diversified and potentially more predictable over time. And that's something that I'm personally going to continue watching for BigBear.AI. And last but not least is I want to be talking about their path to profitability, because the revenue growth is great. The new contracts and being on the lookout for new contracts and their growing backlog is exciting as well. But eventually investors, they want to see those things actually translate into stronger financial results. And what I'm specifically pointing out is going towards the margin expansion, improving software mix, and also cash burn and profitability. And speaking of margins, let's do a quick look. Because as of the previous quarter, and as we know, BigBear.AI, their profit margins have been improving. And specifically, so gross margins right here. It was highlighted in the first quarter report on May 5th. But just to make it easy for you guys to see, their gross margins surged sharply to 34% in the first quarter, reflecting a massive 1,278 basis point improvement year over year. So that's very good for the company. And this is, well, I can't say which one is the most important, because even though I'm listening to what people say, I maybe could take a best educated guess as to what people are paying attention to the most. But I would say that all three of these things are equally important among investors and what it is they're paying attention for. And but to be fair, I think this regarding profitability, I think that's what takes the cake compared to the other two topics that I brought up. Because investors are going to be continuing to ask, um, if these improving margins, if they can continue to improve margins while growing their revenue. And also, they're going to ask, can they reduce operating losses? And can they eventually generate sustainable positive cash flow? And can this stock stop being somewhat of a wild card play? Because as me and you both know, even though BigBear.AI is solid, they're in a good sector, a good market, and they have been making improvements in their financials. But as we know, especially when it comes to their quarterly reports, BigBear.AI can be somewhat of a hit or miss type of stock because sometimes we've never seen, and in my opinion, in my time covering it and holding Big Bear, I've never seen a crazy beat on earnings anywhere over the past year, year and a half. We've seen okay earnings, we've seen slight misses, and we had that one big slip, one big miss on EPS last year. I believe it was for Q3, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It was Q2 or Q3. And that's what investors want to be paying attention to. And if that happens, Big Bear AI can stop being as speculative as it is. It can start to justify the valuations that they have right now, and we can see the share price actually increase. And even though I don't worry too much about the short-term price action, it still is nice to see a growing business that is getting valued more and is being shown more value through a rise in share price as more institutions and retail traders and investors alike put their hard-earned capital to it, and there's more buying pressure, more buying activity, and the stock starts to surge after these questions are answered for Big Bear AI. So a growing business with a higher share price, you can't really argue with that. Everybody wants to see that happen. So where I personally stand when it comes to Big Bear AI is I think that right now too many investors have become overly emotional based on short-term stock movements. And when the stock runs 20 or 30% in the upward direction, everybody suddenly becomes extremely bullish and says, yes, I knew the story was right, we're good. And then obviously when the pullback happens and we dip, and we crash a little, well, not crash, nothing crazy like going to penny stock land or anything like that. But when we dip a decent amount, people are like, I knew this thing was garbage. I don't want to invest in it. There's too many emotional traders and investors out there that aren't staying calm and sticking to their investment thesis on why it is they invested in the first place. So instead, what it is I do is me and you, hopefully me and you alike, we focus on the underlying business that continue to see if it continues to move in the right direction. And right now, I'm still seeing contract wins, commercial expansion, AI software development, and management working towards improving profitability. Now, that's not going to guarantee success, obviously, but there's still good developments for the company. And there's obviously still going to be risks, including execution risk, profitability risks, competition, and continued volatility in the short term price action. But I also do think that the long term opportunity remains intact if management continues executing. So, those were the three biggest key takeaways that I wanted to point out in today's video. What do you all think? Did you enjoy the video today? Let me know in the comment section below. And also feel free to hit the like and subscribe button if you feel I added any value to your investing journey. But with that being said, guys, stay safe. David with InvestQ out, and I'll see you on the next video. Enjoy says bye as well.